If you have been among the multitude who grew tired of the limitations and drawbacks of Twitter, then you must be among the excited people on Threads right now. In this episode of our podcast, we explore the newly launched Twitter killer Threads. Join us as we dissect the strengths and weaknesses of both apps, unveil the features of Mark Zuckerberg's new rival app, and analyze whether it truly has what it takes to dethrone the social media giant. Get ready to discover what's better, what's not, and why this battle for the future of online communication has everyone buzzing. You're listening to The TechNet Show, your weekly dose of the latest tech stories, analysis, interviews, and opportunities in the world of tech. If you're a techie or an enthusiast looking to stay up to date, this is the show for you. Be a part of the conversation and stay connected to our tech community on Telegram at TechNet Show. Hello, Twitterers and Threaders. Welcome to an exciting episode of the TechNet Show podcast. I'm your host, Victoria Imeje, ready to unravel the good, bad, and way forward on the hot topic of two tech giant businessmen with my co-host, Samuel Bassi. Don't worry, this topic is not microscopically about Elon versus Mark, right? We're just going to quickly brush through what Twitter was and what it is now in the hands of Elon Musk and walk you through the conversation of what is better and what is not about the Threads app. Now, this is a comparison that many are trying to shove aside, but we insist on talking about it. But before getting started with any of that, let me get a sense of what Samuel thinks and feels about the launch of Threads by Meta. A lot of folks are excited and didn't waste time moving to Threads. So, Samuel, how do you feel?
It's actually a welcome development. We need competition in the market. Do you understand me? We need competition in the market. Product that will fail, product that will not, that will change things. Product that will bring more innovations than the rest. We actually need more products in the market. But don't forget that Trade is not just the only thing that is in the market that is competing with Twitter. We have Truth, we have Blue Sky and the rest. All of them are actually clones of Twitter and the rest. So let's just, I'm not sure. I'm absolutely not. let me not say my mind now. But okay. We'll take technical analysis out in the whole scenario. Let's see what is what and what is not.
Okay, if I'm to quote Elon Musk in a paraphrase form, Elon says that competition is good, but cheating is not. Okay, so he feels Mark has cheated.
I saw his the case. It was posted on Twitter, man. But I'm not sure Mark cheated. Seriously,
Mark did not cheat. I did not do anything like.
Well,
seriously,
depends.
because I think
most of the times, Vicky, you actually a designer. Most times you will not really have original idea of yours, and you may likely copy someone else. Try to add one or two innovation. Actually, that's what science and technology have been building on from time immemorial. What someone has actually done or built on, you now try to add something or innovate or try to tweak it a little bit and get your own product or your own service on the rest and offer it to your customers, trying to push out your unique selling point and trying to see how you can garner some market share. Actually, it's normal. It's actually what has been done. So I'm not seeing any bad thing that Mark has actually done in this whole scenario.
Okay, nothing bad at all. It's just business.
It's business, yeah.
So let's just quickly run through what Twitter looks like. What's the Twitter we knew before Elon Musk? Now, okay, so Twitter is an online service, right? A social media platform where users can send short messages called tweets to their followers. And it was launched in 2006 and quickly gained popularity. Initially, it was a free platform without a clear way to make money. However, in 2010, Twitter introduced advertising in order to generate revenue. And over time, Twitter became a popular source of news and a communication tool for businesses and political campaigns. And then Twitter's users exponentially increased. As of 2017, Twitter had 330 million monthly users. And as of late 2021, the platform had 217 million monetizable daily active users. So Twitter was actually doing well, right? So let's look at current statistics of Twitter. In 2023, based on statistics now, Twitter has dwindled to approximately 1,300 active working employees, and then they generated $4.4 billion in revenue in 2022, which is an 11% decline year on year, right, from what they made before. And about 90% of Twitter's revenue, as I said earlier, is actually from advertising. And since the takeover of Twitter by Elon Musk, we all know companies have been skeptical about advertising on the platform, and with the whole development of verified accounts having to pay a subscription fee before maintaining their check marks and all of that happened with Twitter, everything went chaotic, right? And Mark has seen an opportunity to actually bring in something that looks like, oh, let me save these drowning users who are looking for looking for an alternative or something.
I wanted to say it's actually an opportunist, but I will not say I will say he's a capitalist. Seriously, he's not actually saving anything. He's only trying to see and come to think of it, the alternative is actually giving us. See, trade can never be like Twitter.
Exactly.
Trade can never be as unique as Twitter, no matter what happened. You understand me? No matter what happened. It's just like Twitter trying to give you a replica of Instagram. You can't get it. You understand me? You can't get it. Come to think of it, you have something like Facebook, WhatsApp, you have Instagram. So all these social media platforms, it should be enough for you to you should channel that energy making it better. Someone tweeted yesterday that just the way truth and the rest actually is not really making sense. That's actually the same way trade will not go far. But I'm actually looking at, okay, Vicky, look at this guy has exposure in the market. He has loyal user base. He has the data. He has the capital to run everything. And the rest. So I don't know how we intend to run it. But you can't just say because Elon Musk said people should be paying $8 for verification and the rest. All those things. All those things are just lame excuse because even Mark, Mark is a capitalist now.
Yes.
He wants to get money out of them one way or the other. So he's not actually coming to save. Why I'm actually saying this because you said
it's coming to save.
Yeah, like
it's not actually coming to.
Well, I feel like that's how some users actually feel like, oh, what a fresh of breath air. We have a new app to do and say whatever. And I'm like, really? So Mark came to save you guys.
From those that would need any fresh breath.
No matter Twitter has actually grown to be kind of the depth of Twitter. I don't know. It's actually unimaginable because it has this kind of information bank that you can actually always reference. You understand? So a platform that someone used this is closely getting to 2 decades building. You cannot just come in and try to. The thing is bank of information and the data on Twitter on Twitter alone, and you cannot match it. You can never
exactly.
The only thing I know that trade can actually do well, maybe if anything happened to Twitter, Twitter is down for at least a week or maybe for 3 days or something like that. But highest Twitter can be down in 30 minutes and Twitter will be back up. So now trying to say, Mark is not actually not coming to save. He's not bringing in fresh. In fact, he's bringing his own version of A. It's not even a fresh A. He's bringing his own version of A because he will still get money from users. But I think the other positive I look at it is the employment opportunities that it actually has generated in the tech space. We cannot ignore the opportunities, the job opportunities that this man actually introduced into the tech space. Right now, I heard, I don't know, it's actually, I've not actually verified information, but I heard some people that were with Twitter are actually now working for Meta. Some people, all those engineers, those software developers, all those things. But trying to be skeptical about the whole thing, Mark actually sacked people too in his company.
Exactly. So now, Facebook laid off a lot of people.
So trying to, I don't know. It's whole, I'm not really seeing this in a point of maybe we are not actually the one gaining anything. We in terms of the users actually not gaining anything. The only thing that we have now is just the luxury of choice. That they can actually go to this or go to this. When there's competition in the market, everybody will strive to be better. Everybody will strive to do well. At least now, this one, since there's a fierce competition in the market, this one will try to do well. A monopoly is actually very bad. So for this microblogging platform that actually Mark just started, I think it will actually help a lot in terms of making Elon Musk to sit up. Most of those he will try to be more considerate when he's actually dishing out policies and the rest, because he knows that there's actually a very fierce competitor by his side. So if you actually do anyhow, the user base will know. But I'm not sure anything will happen to Twitter in the next 10 years.
Okay, so that brings us to kind of like exploring what the features of these two apps actually are, because there's no way we are going to talk about a success of a product without actually discussing the functionalities that are involved. So I don't know, Samuel, if you have downloaded or created an account on Threads. I have, because I needed to like have a first-hand feel and look at the app to be able to compare and contrast. Now, for my own observation, right, I have some holdbacks. Okay, so I actually have some holdbacks concerning Threads, and if we compare the two apps, of course they are entirely different with just a few things that are common. Okay,
Thread is basically a clone of Twitter now. It's a clone of Twitter, so they basically have the same function.
Yeah, it is a clone, but it hasn't gotten everything completely accurate if you look at it. Yeah, and the fact that you need an Instagram account to actually be on Threads kind of puts me off a bit, because I mean, so for someone who does not have an Instagram account, you can't be on Threads. You must have an Instagram account, and that's kind of
that brings us to another thing now.
I feel like, are you trying to control everything? And that's why it looks like it's actually successful. You know, them saying 30 million people in just 7 hours of launch or whatever.
Well, let's look at the active users after 1 month.
It's as a result of the
Let's
fact
look at
that
active users after 1 month.
No, you cannot use a wrong parameter to measure this thing. You cannot. So you now wait for up to 1 month. Let's see the active users, and then we now run it in. Let's just see how the next 1 year or the next 6 months will be. You understand? You look at the numbers. How many people? It's not just about people downloading the app. I already told you that man already has the customer base already. He has loyal customers here. The product, the services. He's actually a very big name in the whole tech space. So if he cannot garner 10 million downloads in 1 week, that means there's something wrong. So it's actually not that I'm actually surprised. It's not really a big deal to me. You understand me? It's not a big deal. Okay, you cannot compare this to when ChatGPT launched. The week ChatGPT launched, about how many million? Was it 10 million users actually registered on the platform? So this one's actually something very new. That one actually very different from what Mark is actually doing. And besides, so I think you mentioned something about opening Instagram account before. Look at what Google is doing. Now, Google, if you have Google account, you can actually open
you can link it to
products.
Yes, any of their platform. You understand? So I think that's what the man wants to do. I don't know but I think this is he's just bringing out his face card. I know he had like 20, 100 other cards that we don't know. You know, he's a capitalist, he's a billionaire, so he has been in the system for a very long time. So he must have. I know he has one or two play in his book. So I'm still waiting to see how you bring up. Mark is not dumb. You understand? Mark is not dumb. And, you have to, before you get to the point he is, you have to be very smart. So I feel there are some cards that he has not shown us yet, of which definitely he will. It's just a matter of...
Yes, definitely we will get to see more updates coming from Meta, what is new about the app, what they want to add to it. And this is just like a launch. So it's like a baby. It's not fully formed, right? It's not fully formed. This is just the baby step, the first step of it. Now, like what you hear so far, make sure not to miss any of our episodes by subscribing to us now and joining our community on Telegram at t.me/technoshow. Now, back to the show. The issue of having an account with Instagram first before you can sign up. There's also, under the settings, there's also that fact that you can deactivate your Threads account, but you can actually delete it, because once you delete it, it affects your Instagram account. It means you are going to entirely delete Instagram. And that's where the issue is really not necessarily with having to actually have an account in one place that you can use all Meta products, right? But when you make it look like, okay, if I don't want Facebook again, it's going to affect my WhatsApp or it's going to affect my Instagram, that becomes an issue, because that's what Threads is looking like right now. So it means if I want to delete Threads, it's going to affect my Instagram account. And a lot of people are not going to like that, right? So, but let's not dwell on that. Let's look at some of the things that Twitter have. Personally, I kind of like Twitter user interface, right? right? Personally, I prefer Twitter user interface. Okay, because I think it has a lot of option. When I was on Threads, I feel like I'm caged. I can't do so much, and I'm trying to like navigate to find my way. And then, on Twitter, you have these top and latest trends and all of that stuff at the top of your search button, right? And you could actually easily look at different things that pop up. But on Threads I don't know, maybe it's because it's just coming up. I went to the search part, and I just saw only accounts that I could click follow. Right? I don't see anything else relating to a trending topic that I can easily check out, right? So that brings us to the issue of having filters, and Thread is not using hashtags, right? So there is no hashtag, and then it makes it, I don't know, navigation feels difficult for me. Not that it's not simple, it's simple enough, but I still feel like I can't do much. I end up on my feed, I just see a lot of celebrities posts, a lot of random posts, and I don't get to see where I could select topics that I want to engage with, just the way that personalization that Twitter created. You can select topics you want to engage with. On Twitter, I have topics under UX design. I have leadership or politics, whatever, that I have followed, and then I get pop-ups on those things. And there are other limitations as well that I want to briefly kind of point out. There's no alt text on Threads. You can actually, on Twitter, when you're making a post, you can actually add an alternative text to your image, or so that if it's a flyer, at least you give a descriptive text to that particular flyer. So that makes it easy to find when somebody is searching for something on Twitter or anywhere else. You get. But on Threads, there's none of that. Probably Mark is going to put it there somehow. I don't know. And then
there's actually still a lot. I believe there's still a lot that he will. I told you earlier that he only showed us his first card. So the other, I believe he has like 10 and hundreds of other cards that they're still in his hand. So he has actually not shown us those cards yet.
Okay. Anyway, there are a lot of other things to point out. Then the audio feature that is on Twitter is not on Threads. And let me not only mention some of the negative things.
Mention the positive.
Yeah.
Vicky, you are against. Were you paid by Elon Musk to sub Mark?
No.
Did Elon Musk pay you? Because as if you are being biased now. I'm seriously. I can sense this bias in your voice.
I'm not trying to be biased. Okay. Why I'm sounding this way is because I'm trying to see, like, I expected so much. If Mark is going to bring out something to rival Twitter, I expected so much. Not that I expect it to look exactly like Twitter, but at least give us some alternative features that actually are so pleasing.
Better alternative.
Yes, a better alternative. Yeah. You get. Now, on Threads, videos play automatically, and then you don't know where you're going to stop it. You get. That setting is not there to plays automatically. The only thing you can do is maybe mute or unmute the video. And so there's a lot. So I expected a lot. So when I landed on that app, and I'm just saying, okay, I'm seeing my feed, and then after feed, what else? Follow all the people that I have on my Instagram, and then just a few things here and there. I was just like, okay, is this all? But however, Mark has done a good one. The interface is still nice and simple. I had to actually do a screen record of me testing the different icons and the different places and how to see it. So I may not be able to explain like everything right here, but I have that on YouTube. However, this is my take really. I know Mark will come up with updates, of course, because I'm sure he must be getting feedbacks from people already concerning this. Now, can we just take a look at what is the strength of this particular app now, Samuel, in your own opinion, right? What is your take? Do you think with these particular features that the app is having, it stands a good chance?
Let me start this way. The introduction of trade into the market is actually a very good move. Understand? It's actually something that is it's a welcome development in the market. So, but it's not actually bringing anything authentic. It's just a replica of what we have. But I think the luxury of choice choice that it actually gives to us is actually something that is worth being happy for. So that luxury of choice is there in case Elon Musk decide to go haywire tomorrow. There is actually something else that can actually move on to something big, something worthwhile. You understand? We are not going to start from the scratch, because right now nobody's going to start from the scratch. Nobody's going to migrate to Blue Sky or to Truth and the rest. No one will do that, even though they may have an account there, but they won't be as active as they are. So I think Mark just need a lot of time. He need years, not months. He need years. So that's why I still believe that we can still come back to this topic in the next 3 months to now see how far they've actually gone in 3 months. Maybe they face how far trade did in 100 days, what they did in 100 days. So something like that. So, but for now, we can actually not judge everything. The introduction into the whole microblogging space actually a very good move. But I think the difficulty you have on the platform is mainly because it's actually strange to you. You have not actually used something like that before. Because it's just like when someone saying that he doesn't like Twitter because Twitter is because maybe the person is actually used to Facebook. Coming to Twitter, you will not like it. It's just like I was actually using Facebook before I stopped. I'm not actually active again on Facebook. I actually based on Twitter. I'm always 247 on Twitter. If I'm on social media, just Twitter alone. Twitter, come back to WhatsApp, and that's all. Or maybe 1 or 2 on LinkedIn and the rest. So I think it's maybe because you are not actually conversant with the platform. As time goes on, people will be used to the platform and then they actually spend more time on the platform and the rest. People have already started, hustling for followers and the rest. So let's just see how it will be like. So it's just that right now, Elon Musk just need to sit up. That's actually one advantage of this. Elon Musk will really need to sit up and try to reevaluate his policies and the rest. You should understand that Elon Musk brought this form of sanity into Twitter. Before if you tweet anything, and as in people they can ban your account for any silly reason, for a very minute reason, your account can be banned. But right now, Elon Musk just came in and tried to sanitize the whole system, which is actually a very good thing. So right now, the emergence of trade will make him to sit back and try to look at his moves and try to look at his policies, reevaluate his policies and how it will affect customers. So he won't be actually working in maybe a similitude of monopoly. You understand? In this case, he knows that there are a lot of competition in the market and he will try to sit up and do well.
All right, that's a great take, and I personally look forward to seeing direct message feature on Threads, because that currently does not exist on Threads, and I'm also concerned about privacy issues to be sorted out. I don't know why I feel like there is privacy issue. However,
Vicky, we talked about data privacy. I read somewhere that Meta is actually sitting on $20 billion something worth of data. That's actually the worth of, let me not say Meta, let me say Facebook, worth of Facebook's data or user data. So I think so now there's a lot of data movement here and there in all these things. I know, like I said earlier, Mark actually, he has gotten everything. He has the user, he has the data. I mentioned data when I was talking about this before earlier on. He has the data, he has the finances, and has everything. Technical know-how to run this thing. So let's just see, will users move on to everybody to trade and leave Twitter, or will people still be loyal to Twitter, forget about trade and allow it to die natural death? Because it's actually possible. Trade can still die a natural death.
Yes, it can, because, well, I think for now, people are just jumping from threads to Twitter, to just kind of like see what's going on in Twitter. Are people leaving? How many people have left? What's going on? What's popping there? They'll jump from there, go back to threads, okay, and continue, trading. So it's kind of crazy right now. So, well, let's just give it time and see what happens, what is going to be the norm at the end of the day. And like you said, I would like to conclude with the fact that, okay, Elon Musk is going to try to do his best to see how he can revive and sustain what he has already kind of like almost killed, if not dead already. And then, and then, well, our fingers also crossed to see how Mark is going to ensure that threads actually thrive in the whole ecosystem. Because for me, I'm just curious to see how it will last. I'm not so sure about it, but this is Mark. He won't just let it die down.
He's a big player.
Yeah, so let's just see what happens. So please let us know what your own opinion is about this. Do you think Threads has the potential to be successful? Do you think Elon is going to do something different and positively to revive Twitter? What do you think is actually the future of Twitter? These and a lot of other questions what we want to know from you. What is your take, and what are the biggest challenges that Threads will face in the coming days, months, or years? Just send us a message or drop comments via the message link in our description. So, and that's the much we can cover on this particular hot topic. Until next week, continue to stay informed. Thanks for being a part of today's conversation on The TechNats Show. Do follow us on social media at The TechNats Show. Join our growing tech community on Telegram at TechNats Show so you'll never miss any updates. If you find our content valuable, would love you to drop us comments or likes, or you could share it with your friends too. Catch you next week.